Hello and welcome to another Vinny Talks Yanks. I'm your host, Vincent LaRose. Today, Yankees actually pick a win up, which I was quite surprised. So, this is really not even going to be another recap of this series. It's not going to be another, I don't even really want to bash the Yankees at this point. We all know what we've been watching. It's been pretty poor. But as always, let's open it up with today in Yankees history. So, to this day in Yankees history, actually, this day every year, obviously. But on this day, it is actually Yankees captain Willie Randolph's birthday. So, happy birthday, Willie Randolph. I never got to see him play, but I did watch a lot of his highlights, and he was a really good second baseman. There's an argument he should be in the Hall of Fame statistically compared to other second basemen. I've never really looked into it, but happy birthday, Willie Randolph. Nothing less. This video will be posted tomorrow, so it will no longer be Willie Randolph's birthday, but let's give him a happy birthday for today. But I'm going to get right into it. So, the Yankees lose, Mets take 2 out of 3, and we split the season series with the Mets. The Subway Series is always fun. It's just fun to watch. It's a good energy. It's unfortunate that both teams were really struggling coming in, because I feel like, a lot of the posts about it on MLB, everybody was like the battle of the mid, which at the time wasn't necessarily true. The Mets were starting to heat up a little bit before going into the series, but both teams played poorly over the month of June. But it was still an exciting series, and every game, like Game 1, was a good watch. Game 2 was awful unless you're a Mets fan, of course, and Game 3 was still a little bit scary. I'm at the point with the Yankees where I don't even trust the lead. I don't trust the lead anymore. It went from phenomenal pitching to just phenomenal hitting, but pitching and hitting don't mix for some reason. Even Fried struggled today, so it is what it is, though. You pick the win up. Unfortunately, we're still down 3 in the AL East. Just having a 7.5 game lead and losing that in a single month, and going down 10 games essentially. We've gone down 10 games in a single month to the Blue Jays, and it's still a little aggravating to hear Aaron Boone say, "Oh, it's fine. This team, blah blah blah." It's a good team, man. It's a really good team, and I believe it's a really good team. I know injuries have hurt us a lot, but somebody's got to take some sort of accountability. I'm tired of hearing we're good, blah, blah, blah. He made the right play right decision in this spot when it's obvious. Volpe with his misplays. Jazz being really bad at third base lately. Just a lot of miscues in the outfield as well. Some hurt us. Luckily today, not so much, but I at least want to see accountability, man. I was thinking about this the other day. When Giancarlo Stanton came to New York, and he was struggling, he was getting booed, everybody was booing him. Why would we trade for this guy? Who cares if he was an MVP? He sucks. And then he picked it up. During that time, they're interviewing him, they're like, "Stanton, how do you deal with all this, blah, blah, blah." And, I think everybody can agree with me, even through Stanton's struggles. This is why I love Stanton as a player so much is, I'm not performing, I deserve it. I'm not performing, I deserve it. And it really bothers me because, when you see Anthony Volpe fail repeatedly time and time again, and then you go into the locker room, "I made the right decision. I don't think that's the right decision. Oh, I'm not worried about my hitting. I'm confident in my abilities, blah, 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 blah." Dude, at some point, you got to sit down and look in the mirror and be like, "I'm the problem." Not even so much you're the problem, man, because you're a good baseball player. You got to sit down and take some sort of accountability. I'm not, I can't walk into work and do something wrong and just be like, "Well, it's not really my fault," because it's like, just take accountability for it. I would like you much more, not just as a player, as a person, because it takes a lot, even a guy like Joey Gallo, like, he's come out and said he's been horrible. He was horrible for the Yankees, and he wishes he can erase it. He wanted it to work, but he wishes he can erase that part of his career. And I understand, no man deserves to hear stuff like that. And even today, a video came out where somebody said some not nice stuff about Anthony Volpe, and his dad was standing there, and his dad defends him. Sorry. Is that an ad on my video? Anyways, but his dad defends him. I hope I don't get copyrighted for that. Anyways, but his dad defends him, and people are confused why. Oh no, my video just ended. I don't get ads yet, but people are confused why he's defending him. And we're all humans at the end of the day. But just take a little bit of accountability. That's all I'm asking for. He actually did his job today, so I respect it. I hope this is up. I want everybody on this team to succeed. But anyways, I'm gonna get a little bit into a little bit of the injuries. So a really, really big one and super unfortunate. When I saw it happening, I knew it was Tommy John from the second. Schmidt was struggling. I think in the 5th inning, game 1, he just lost the zone. He just couldn't find the feel for the ball, and eventually, was it the 5th or was it the 3rd? I don't remember, to be completely honest. Or was it against the Blue Jays? I don't know. I have really not been paying attention, 100% attention to this team right now because of how aggravating it's been to watch. But he needs Tommy John. So another guy down or 3 starter down. It's tough. It looks like they're gonna call up Cam Schlittler, who is a guy I've actually been watching, and he looks really good. Hopefully, it pans out in the MLB and we get another good starter. But it's another tough one, man. These injuries have killed us. 2 Tommy Johns to your starting 5 in one season is brutal. It's really brutal. It just sucks. It's really hard going into the season with 3 of your top 5 guys hurt. Thankfully Rodon and Fried obviously have stepped up tremendously and pitched well for us. I know Rodon struggled a little bit in game 2 of the series, but coming up big for us. But it's tough, and especially with the guy, it's gonna be a second Tommy John, so it's gonna be really tough. Hopefully, I know they're doing a new type of Tommy John surgery with the Kevlar to essentially it's supposed to prevent future injuries happening, of course. So it's supposed to help with the UCL tear and prevent it now. So you fix it and prevent it. So that's a new thing that a lot of guys have had some success with. But anyways, so that really sucks. Schmidt is down. And then Jazz, man. Jazz comes out today. He's been struggling with some shoulder pain for the past couple of weeks. I don't know which shoulder it is, but if it's his throwing arm, just move him back to second, please. He's been struggling so much at third base. And I love Jazz. When he came off the IL, I was hyped for him to go back to third. But truthfully, DJ's really not hitting. Peraza's really not hitting. Just throw him at third base, man. Just throw him. At least when Peraza's in the game, you're getting better defense than Jazz would be at third base. And at least up the middle, when Jazz is at second, he has that lockdown, as he was a plus 3 defender, defensive run save this season, and he only played about 40 games. So I really think Jazz should just go back to second base and just have LeMahieu and Peraza platoon at third at this point, because it's rough to watch, honestly. But anyways, I'll get into a little bit of the series now. Dominguez has a wonderful series. Judge has another amazing series. I know Grisham had a good series. Wells had a really good series. It's really nice to see Wells only played 2 games, and he did a lot more. He was a lot more productive than 75% of the team. So, but all these guys are succeeding now. And it's good. Hopefully we're on the upcoming. I said this in my last video. We just need one more guy to really just let it click, and then I think our offense is good. So, and as we've seen, our offense isn't struggling to score runs anymore. We went through that stretch with our offense. Hopefully the same thing with pitching, where we went through a little stretch with the pitching until they can figure it out, get guys into the right spots, figure out injury-wise and everything. I know he was coming back soon. They weren't going to rush him, but I think I don't want them to rush him, but I think they almost have to at this point. I know the goal was the beginning of August, but I think, honestly, in my humble opinion, I think they should give him 2 rehab starts and then just throw him back out in the MLB, even if it's just 50 pitches, man, because Yarborough hasn't even started a throwing program yet, and it's going to be thin for a minute, man. Stroman has really not been... I don't believe in Stroman at all. I'd honestly be surprised if they didn't just trade him for peanuts and tell him to take like $2 million off his salary for the rest of the season. Whatever they do. They might not. They probably won't, obviously, because of all the injuries, but I'm just saying. But anyways, a lot of guys had a good series. I know the bullpen is still struggling so much. Weaver's really struggling. And again, the other day, I was really confused because Hill came in the game and was just lights out. I believe he only threw 2 batters. So he only threw like 7 pitches. So I was like, all right, setting him back out there for the 8th. What's the problem? You had 2 lefties coming up anyways, and just you send Weaver out there. And again, actually, I'm wrong. Hill got the 2 outs in the 8th, and then he wanted to bring, or in the 7th, and then he brought Weaver in to close because he wanted to get, I think it was it Alonso? Was it Alonso? I think it was Alonso. He wanted to get a righty on Alonso. Ends up not working. Weaver gives up the home run to McNeil, giving up the lead eventually, which would lead us to losing the game. Sorry. Like I said, I've been watching them, but I'm kind of been toning in and out because I'm really trying to chill out and not get so angry at these games. They generally I know it's just silly to say, but this shit ruins my day. And especially when I don't mind a pitching battle, a pitching duel, maybe give up 1 or 2 runs. The offense isn't clicking that day because we're going against a tough guy, and we end up losing 3-2 or something like that, or we lose the game 6-5. But I can't stand watching us lose on silly mistakes and dumb decisions on the managerial side. It's just hard to watch because you sit there and you stew and you're like, what is going through their head? Why are you making this decision? I think Mets fans can kind of agree with that statement earlier today where, Judge comes up the bat with 2 outs and a runner on third base, and it was just intentionally walk him. Everybody's been doing it. Why would you not? And then he hits a 2-run home run against the lefty too, and he's been mashing. He's about the same. His splits are quite even, but this is a really weird decision on Mendoza's side, just not walking him there. Thank you, because that probably helped us win the game today. But I appreciate you, letting the guy hit. I know you guys were old buddies. Carlos Mendoza being our old bench coach, maybe he told him he's not gonna intentionally walk him every single time. But anyways, it's just my head spinning at this point. There's really not much else to say, man. We've all been watching these games. We've all been understanding. Hopefully, as they start to pick it up, I'm gonna do a full recap of the final 2 series. I think today, even Yankees fans, I don't even feel like people so much want to be super invested in it now and just reminded of what went wrong. More of I'm gonna talk about what's going on, and hopefully we can find some sort of a solution in the future for the Yankees. So I don't really like reliving those moments, as I'm sure a lot of the people listening don't like reliving any of the moments. So I'll just give it to you like that. But like I said, there's really not much else to talk about. I'm gonna go over trades and everything during the All-Star break, so I'll have a same schedule of videos. So I have I'll have the video for who do we play? So we play Seattle next week, starting on Tuesday. So I'll have that video, and then I'll have the Cubs series. After the Cubs series, I'm gonna release an Anthony Volpe video, like I said last video. I actually wanted to wait on it until the All-Star break so we can reflect on his first half stats instead of because there's still a couple games left and he gets hot, maybe he has a huge last 6 games of the All-Star break, and then we're all kind of feeling a little bit better about him. So I'm going to do that video after the All-Star break. So I'll probably have a video come out Monday after the All-Star break, and then maybe Wednesday before, right before they start up again on Thursday. So I'm thinking I think they start up Thursday, or did they start up Friday? Let me check the schedule real quick to make sure I'm not mistaken. Let me see real quick. So I'll have a video on the 14th on the home run derby. Not on the home run, the day of the home run derby, a video will come out, and then the 17th, because on the Thursday, because they go, that was weird, because they go to Atlanta Friday, so it'll be the Thursday after the All-Star break. So get a day or 2 off of baseball, clear my head a little bit. I love doing these videos, but look, they are grind sometimes, so I enjoy getting these out. But I'm gonna keep it short today. Appreciate everybody watching. I hope this is the come up for the Yankees and not just a little win but a little blooper in between an even bigger struggle and bigger worry that we'd have to worry about. But again, that's where I'm going to end it. I appreciate everybody watching. I hope everybody, had a good 4th of July weekend, and go Yankees.